Hello and welcome to Hank's Place. Today we're coming to you from beautiful Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It's Cape Cod Bay in the background over here. Last message I was speaking to you about Hosea 6:6 and how Jesus quoted from that 2 times as recorded in the Gospels. I desire mercy or loving kindness and not sacrifice, reads the scripture. The first time I'd mentioned it was found in Matthew 9. And there Matthew had thrown a big party filled with tax gatherers and sinners. It was all his friends. And the Pharisees were perplexed. Why does your master eat with sinners and tax gatherers? They asked the disciples. It's those who are sick who need a physician, Jesus replied. And he said, go and learn what this means. I desire loving kindness and not sacrifice. He said that to the Pharisees. It was not a hostile dialogue and interchange. Everything changed, though, a few chapters later, Matthew chapter 12. There, the disciples were walking and entered a field of grain and began to harvest the grain with their hands to have something to eat. When the Pharisees seemed to jump out from behind the sheaves of grain and said, why do your disciples do that which is not legal on the Sabbath day? Well, hold on here. According to the Torah, the written word, then it was legal. Deuteronomy 23:25. It was perfectly all right. But it was not all right according to the oral law of the Pharisees. Where'd that come from? Well, the Pharisees said that after Moses came down from the mount with the 10 Commandments, he delivered an oral law, far more sacred, so sacred it could not be written down to the elders. And then they, the Pharisees, were descendants of the elders. Go think about that one a while. Anyhow, Jesus rebukes them for their hardness of heart. And he does say, go and learn what this means. Hosea 6:6, I desire mercy rather than sacrifice. If you knew what it meant, you would not have condemned the innocent. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Time out again. That's like a match onto a puddle of gasoline here. Why? Well, the religious orthodoxy of the day was in a kind of shambles. Rome determined who the high priest was. The priest's garments were kept locked up in the Antonia fortress. The Holy of Holies was an empty room in Herod's magnificent temple. And the Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes and such, they couldn't agree on things like heaven and hell, the existence of angels, eternal life. They couldn't agree on almost anything except for one thing, the Sabbath. Everyone agreed the Sabbath was so holy. So here you have Jesus saying, take your most holy, most solemn part of your orthodoxy. You know what? I am Lord over that as well. No wonder they wanted to kill him. No wonder they were lying in wait for him. Well, listen, my dear friends, as you observe this situation, you realize that Jesus was turning the world of the Pharisees and their theology upside down. For the Pharisees, it was only the self-righteous people who could possibly be blessed. But here was the loving kindness of God in the flesh, Jesus incarnate, who was blessing sinners and blessing tax gatherers, blessing all those who were on the outside as far as the Pharisees were concerned, whereas those with hard hearts were being left out, namely the Pharisees themselves. They were left outside of God's favor. Well, my friend, think about that. And then I pray that you choose to let mercy and loving kindness be your garment today. Show that mercy and loving kindness to your fellow man, and you know what? You'll come alive.